Morning, church. Now, yesterday we were talking about conflict, and today I want to kind of continue on that train just a little bit, and I want to back up to verse 4 of chapter 4, and where Paul says, rejoice in the Lord always, and again, I say rejoice. You'll notice I'm wearing my Mickey Mouse shirt, Disneyland, because I'll rejoice on the day that opens back up. Side note, another sermon, sorry. The Lord is at hand. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. And again, Paul's wrapping up the letter here. So he's not just talking about the conflict, but he's talking about everything that he's discussed in Philippians. And he's reminding us that God is in control. So whether it be conflict or whether it just be the world's conflict that we're watching play out, we can still rejoice knowing that God is in control. And if we're still anxious, He gives us instructions on what to do. We are going to become anxious, but Paul's trying to give us a remedy for that anxiety, and it's to present our requests to God. And I think this is where, like the Psalms, Paul's giving us permission here to cry out to God. And if God's people are struggling with stuff, He wants us to be honest with Him. He already knows our minds, but He still wants us to express it, and we need to acknowledge our fears and our anxieties and our conflicts and things like that. We need to bring those to the foot of the cross. We need to bring those to God, and that's what Paul is telling us. The Lord is at hand, and so not to be anxious about anything. And then he tells us through prayer and supplication with thanksgiving. Remember, always be thankful for the blessings of each day. As bad as it may get, we still need to find those things to be thankful for, because that helps us to be encouraged. And so we want to be encouraged. And then make those requests known to God. And then as we do that, as we set the worry and the anxiety and the fear over here, then God will fill us with that peace and joy and tranquility that only He can give us. We can't feel that anxiety with anything else. Worry doesn't help. Work doesn't help. Trying to do things on your own doesn't help. Putting it in God's hands helps, and allow His Word to transform us into the likeness of His Son. And then as we do that, we'll learn the will of God, the good and pleasing and perfect will of God. See you tomorrow, church.